We're given that f of z is z cubed plus az plus 52, where a is a real constant. Now that's important for the first part of the question because that means that in our cubic, all of the coefficients are real. We're given that 2 minus 3i is a root of the equation f of z equals 0. We want to write down the other complex root. Since we know that all of the coefficients here are real, the other root will be the conjugate of the root that we're given. So that's going to be 2 plus 3i. Moving on to part B, we want to solve completely f of z is 0 and determine the value of a. Since we know that we have 2 minus 3i and 2 plus 3i as roots, that means that z minus 2 minus 3i is a factor of our cubic, and so is z take away 2 plus 3i. And the product of those is also going to be a factor. This is going to give us z squared minus 4z plus 13 if you expand out. So this quadratic is a factor. Now consider that our cubic is z cubed plus az plus 52. We know that a quadratic factor is z squared minus 4z plus 13. There has to be a linear factor. To get the z cubed at this end, we need to have a z. And to get the 52 at this end, positive 52, this needs to be plus 4. So if we're now solving that equal to 0, so we have z squared minus 4z plus 13, z plus 4 is equal to 0, that tells us z is equal to negative 4. And of course we knew the 2 plus or minus 3i. So we've done B part 1, and now we want to determine the value of a. So if we consider z squared minus 4z plus 13, z plus 4, and consider the parts of the expansion of that would give us a z. So we would get negative 4z times 4, and we would get 13 times z. So the coefficients of z, that's going to be negative 16 plus 13, which is negative 3. And we can see from the original equation that a is the coefficient of z. So that tells us that a is equal to negative 3. And finally, we're asked to show all the roots of the equation f of z equals 0 on a single argon diagram. So we just want to sketch a diagram. So we'll have the imaginary axis here and the real axis going across here. And we've got negative 4 over here. And then we would have 2 plus 3i. And directly here, we would have 2 minus 3i.